Welcome to the Programming Lives podcast. Today, we have Charissa Halonen on the show, part of the Relentless couple, as they're known on social media. She is an online coach specializing in mindset, fitness, and nutrition, building a resilient life. And today, we're going to cover a lot. They have a family very similar age in terms of their kids, and there are a lot of tidbits and morsels that anyone can take away from this episode to make you better and build better habits. So, you do not want to miss it. Let's go. Charissa, welcome to the Programming Lives podcast. We are excited to have you on today and share your expertise in health, nutrition, mindset. Before we get into all of that, could you give us a little bit of background on your business, what you do, and your journey to get here?
I so appreciate having the opportunity to chat with you guys today. My background is I've been in the health and wellness field for the past 18 years. I've been a massage therapist, yoga instructor, and now bridging into coaching. On top of all of that, I'm also a wife, a stepmother, and an entrepreneur. And I've been an entrepreneur since I was 21. So it gives me a background in showing the way and developing different things. I really enjoy the health and wellness industry because then you get that ability to actually impact people's lives and give them ways forward in a very confusing society of so much information and what's relevant, what's accurate, and what's not. So it's been a wild ride so far.
Wow.
Good. It is an interesting time, isn't it? A lot of different information out there. Well, maybe we can unpack some of that today. And we're looking forward to getting deeper on some of these topics. So let's get cranking into some of the questions that the boys curated.
Okay. My first question is, how much can you deadlift?
Wow, starting hard.
Right? Deadlifting and I are not super good friends. I can deadlift about 120 pounds. That's my max at this point. My leg press is much more impressive, but my deadlift is definitely needing some work.
Okay, nice. Will, you had a new PR the other day, right?
Yeah, I was 85.
Okay.
Good job.
He's catching up.
Yeah. I got
I'm going to get you.
Fuel in my fire.
Yeah, which actually brings up another question. This is maybe getting ahead a little bit, but in terms of kids' fitness, what do you think about lifting weight and so forth at young ages?
It's super important for everybody at any age, especially with young kids that are developing. It's not only developing, that good awareness of body and mind connection, it's also a place to work through emotions that are coming up too, because you can use that as fuel for how you're lifting. I do really think form is important all the way through, but we have our boys they get to choose what kind of physical activity that they do. And we have a gym that's in our garage at home that's fully kitted out with all the weights and a couple machines and things like that. So they have full access to it. But I am a big advocate of weight training for males, females, young, old, any age. Like there's no wrong age to start.
Okay. Love that. Well, we're off to a good start. These boys are enjoying it, and we get a little competitive. We get a little competitive. What do you guys think?
Oh, yeah, we get competitive.
I like it. I'm a middle kid, so I'm competitive too.
Well, I've heard that you have overcome some pretty sad circumstances. Can you tell us more about what your family has overcome and how it's made you stronger?
Absolutely. So I only get to have the family that I have because the boys' mom unexpectedly passed away. And it was an accident on the farm. And so when I actually met Tyler, it was fairly recent after the event that had happened. And so it was a family of brokenhearted boys. And nobody was prepared for that. The boys were 7 and 10 at the time. So they have tremendous resilience in themselves because they had the capacity to open their heart to somebody with their mom passing away. And they have learned how to navigate life with a broken heart and still be able to have joy and grow and different opportunities and not just dwell in the absolute adversity that they are struggling with losing their mom. Because at every opportunity when something exciting happens, the first person they want to tell is no longer here. So we have that family thing that we all know about. We all talk about it. We all face it every day because it's a true part of how we became a family. And being a blended family is a challenge in its own because you have all of this old history that's there. You have new personalities, and everybody's kind of learning how to fuse together. So the way that we've overcome this is by having really good emotional health awareness. So we always do like, how's your heart check-ins? How are you doing today? And like whatever answer comes out is full, like we accept anything that comes out. So if it's a hard heart day, it just means there's more hugs that happen or more grace when a responsibility doesn't get executed the way that it's supposed to be, and giving the boys language so that they can talk about the emotions that they're feeling, because previously emotions were not talked about. It was just something you experienced and you just didn't say too much because there wasn't wording for it. And just really showing them that this adversity is something that will make them stronger, know how to love better, know how to be more present, and value time so much more, because it isn't guaranteed. And the way that you plan life is usually not how it actually comes out to be.
Wow.
That's sad.
That's well said, but it's obviously a very sad story. Can you guys imagine how
Losing
difficult that
our
would be?
mom, yeah.
Thanks for sharing that, and that probably is a segue into a lot of the things that you teach in your coaching in terms of mindset and resilience and so forth. And so let's dig into some more of that.
Okay. What are the pillars of having a resilient life?
The pillars that I believe for having a resilient life is understanding delayed gratification and knowing that your mind is going to give up far before your body does. So really understanding how to apply your mind and always seeing any obstacle or challenge as an opportunity for growth or an opportunity in general. Because if you can see the purpose as to what you'll get on the other side of something, then you're more likely to keep going and you'll be able to talk yourself through it. Like when I was doing weighted walking lunges this morning, I'm like, all right, that was hard. And I'm like, well, I could do less weight the next time. But then it's like, well, no, I have the ability to walk. People up there don't have that. So I just need to push that little bit more. And at the end, you feel like you've accomplished something because you didn't allow yourself to be taken out by something small. Because life doesn't usually give small things, it's monumental things. So if the small things defeat you, then you're really setting it up for not being able to navigate all of the things that life will throw at you unexpectedly. So resilience is really just seeing the purpose behind that little bit of discomfort every day that you put yourself through to build yourself stronger.
I love this term, delayed gratification. It's something that is maybe missing in a lot of areas of society, but it's something that we try to work on with the kids. And of course, it's difficult, right? Because everybody wants the hit right now. Do you think of it like a muscle that you have to build over time?
I think so. I think the more you practice it, the better it becomes. And like you actually get more in life if you're willing to delay things.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
you do. You actually, when you wait longer for a reward, you enjoy that a lot more. Whereas if you just get a reward and get a reward and get a reward and you don't have to wait for anything, then the only thing that you're actually delaying is building yourself. There's delay in both ways. So when you don't delay the gratification and then you get instant gratification, you delay your fulfillment.
Yeah.
Because you're actually pushing fulfillment further away instead of delaying something and seeing the purpose behind it. And then you feel more fulfilled because you actually like, I worked really hard for that. Versus I didn't do any work and I got what I wanted. It doesn't build character in a person whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah. It reminds me of a conversation we had, boys, recently with somebody who is kind of an expert in habit forming.
Yeah.
But primarily this person trains dogs, but they had a lot of expertise in habit forming. And remember how he talked about they would have reward systems, but then he would extend the reward system over time, longer stretches to the outcome that they wanted. This is primarily in pets and animals. But he also said it works in humans because we're animals too. And so
Yeah.
it's an interesting phenomenon. We follow you on social media, and you had a post recently, a couple I want to ask you about quick.
Yeah.
One was, let's call it a mess around and find out post.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you referenced bringing that into reality. Could you cover that here for us? Because I think it's an important message.
Yeah, so it's a term. So you mess around and you get a result. So you find out what happens when you mess around. And it's the law of cause and effect is essentially because we're governed by the universal laws. So what people don't realize is that the effect that is caused by their choices, because they're like, oh, it's that same thing, that instant gratification doesn't allow thought process to how this is going to play out, because our choices, our life is our sum of the choices we've made.
Mm-hmm.
So if we sit there and we eat chocolate cake all day and we choose not to go to the gym, if you stack multiple days of eating chocolate cake and not going to the gym, the result is you're going to start putting on weight.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on your genetics, the weight's going to be monumental, or it's going to be enough to be uncomfortable. And then you're going to feel tired and your body's not going to function that well. Right. So the same thing with sleeping in. Most people want more time in the day. If you sleep in every day, then you get less time each day. But then you still have a desire for more time to do things, but then you keep sleeping in. Mm-hmm. So the cause and effect, the mess around and find out, is relevant in every area. Mm-hmm. There's just not that comprehension of it, because we're free to make choices, but we are not free from the consequence of our choices. And a lot of time the consequence is delayed.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. You guys get that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And did I see it was your birthday yesterday?
Yes, it was.
And
happy birthday to you.
Okay. Yeah. So happy birthday. I didn't know we were going to sing. That was off the cuff.
Yeah, I just love it, do it.
But happy birthday. Congrats. And then I also saw that you did a birthday burpee challenge. So
I did 38 burpees, one for every year I was born, right?
Okay. Oh. This challenge is going to get then exponentially more difficult as you get older.
Yes.
You get that, boys? Like, you guys could do this burpee challenge
so
every birthday.
So if you're like 86.
Yeah, you're 86. You're like, boy, this is going to be a rough one.
I've hated burpees and avoided them up until this last year. So to be fully honest, this is the first time I did birthday burpees to equal my age. Usually I use burpees to calm my temper. If I'm frustrated or wanting to yell at people, I go do burpees. So this is the first year.
Yeah. You remember that advice we had from somebody about burpees, guys?
Yeah. Yeah, he was the dude that is in the army.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. He said when you're mad, you should just like separate and then do workout or something. He recommended burpees. But.
Yeah.
Sometimes
basically said
separate. Sometimes I drop and do them in the kitchen so I don't yell at teenagers.
Yeah.
Seriously,
basically said
he's go away. They're like, oh no.
Yeah, he said a very similar thing. He said if you're really frustrated or maybe you're having an argument with your brother, he said just drop down and do burpees until you can't do them anymore and you'll forget what you were upset about.
It works very well.
All right, we're gonna start implementing this here.
I hate you.
All right, let's move on, boys. I think in fact the discussion about habits is a good segue into this question.
So, creating positive, lasting habits is so critical.
Yes.
What methods do you use?
Repetition. I find the things that work for me and I repeat them. They're mundane, boring habits, but they work really well. So burpees is one of them. Getting up early, eating the food that will help me create fuel in my body and also clarify my mind and just nourish my body, and doing reading and reflecting. So I do the same habits every day and they get better and stronger and more powerful because I repeat the same things every day.
The thing is, though, that then when you're 86, you're probably going to be, you probably can't get up from a burpee. You're probably going to have to call the ambulance to get up.
I don't look at aging the same way that society does. I am allowed to get better with age instead of deteriorate with age because I take care of my mindset. I eat well
Really?
for my body. I hydrate, and my physical fitness is really important. So there is no days that I miss doing it. So then I build my body stronger every day. I don't have to break down unless something external happens that I didn't have control over. How you talk to yourself, how you show up every day. You don't have to be broken down when you're old unless you choose to be.
I always thought of it where like you just get better slowly until like you're 40 or 50, and then slowly you start slowly getting wrinkles and
Come
going
on.
down
Come on, man.
and
No.
down.
All right. Well, I'm also planning to be a
Toes.
beast into my 80s. That's the plan. A couple of quick follow-ups though in regards to some of the
You guys
things that work for you and your clients in terms of getting up early. What time do you get up and what's your routine like?
Okay, so this scares most people. So don't be afraid if you get a little scared. We get up at 3 in the morning. 3
Oh
a.m.
my
That's
god!
early.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my god!
I'm afraid.
Oh my gosh!
That's early. I get up at 4:30 and that I like people think I'm nuts.
Yeah, people think we are insane. For us,
so
because we have so
You are
much to
insane.
do in a day,
Mm-hmm.
3 a.m. is what works. So we get up at 3. We put up our posts because we do our accountability and inspiration for our community.
Uh-huh.
We have breakfast really quick. So I have eggs and some honeydew melon. I do my book post to help everybody get their brain aligned for the day. And then we go out and our workout is 45 minutes to an hour. So by 5 o'clock in the morning, we are back in the house. We're having coffee, a post workout smoothie, and that gives us an hour to connect as a couple,
Yeah.
uninterrupted. It also gives us that time to just be like Tyler and Charissa, working on ourselves as individuals.
Yep.
And then we have the connection time as a couple. And then that means we're actually really ready to be present for the boys when they get up at summertime now. So they get up at 7, but school times they get up at 6:15.
Okay.
So then we are present for them so we can help them navigate their mornings. And then Tyler, on his days where he's working off the farm and off the coaching, he works in the oil fields.
That's incredible. So that's early. You get more done by coffee than most people do in a day. I like getting up early for a lot of the same reasons. I feel like I get a head start on everybody else. Like I just feel like I've gotten more done by the time other people are just waking up and getting going. And I just feel like I've got an advantage on others that way.
Yeah.
Especially when I was working more in corporate America, I just felt like the earlier I start, the more I get done, and then I can be there for other people to help, support, or work through issues and challenges that are coming up. Any rate, wow, okay, that's ultra early. Appreciate you sharing.
You're
that.
insane.
You're the best kind.
You know, I think
So what time do you go to bed then if you're getting up at 3?
So usually it depends. Bedtime is usually about 8 o'clock is when
Okay.
Tyler likes to shut it down. There are times if I feel like I have more things I still need to accomplish because of the many hats that I wear, I'll stay up until the latest I'll stay up is 11. And then I go to bed, get up, and I still get up at 3 and don't
You
sleep.
have to be tired right now.
No,
You're not?
no.
But, like, wait, hold up. Is it 4 hours? Yeah.
I mean, in that extreme case, 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
You have only 4 hours of sleep, and I have 8. I like go to sleep at like 9, and then I wake up at like 7:30.
Well, there you go. I don't go to bed at 11 all the time. Most of the time by 9 o'clock, I'm lights out.
Mm-hmm.
do you guys watch TV?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
You should watch Naked and Afraid, Last One Standing.
Naked and Afraid is a great one. What I have bridged away from is I have things that I'm creating for my clients and like creating content and reading and things like that. That's where my focus is right now. So I have nothing against it. I just don't feel like that's a good use of my time right now. I love documentaries and make time for that. And I love watching YouTube things while I'm doing food prep so I can keep learning and being relevant about the things that are going on. But to sit and just watch a show doesn't fill my soul right now.
I can appreciate that.
Wow. Typically on like the summer on the weekends, we sit down like 8 o'clock, 7:30 to 8 o'clock, and then we'll watch TV for an hour, and then we'll go to bed. That's like
And we'll
basically the
wake up.
only time we watch TV.
Yeah. Yeah, otherwise, we don't really watch TV any either. It's getting less popular every day. I'm curious about when you talk about reflecting, can you tell me a little bit more about what that means? How do you go about that practice?
So usually how it starts is there's a book called The Art of Living, which is based on Epictetus, who's a Stoic, his writings and principles. So the beautiful thing about this book is each page is just a thought or an idea about something about life. And then so I'll read through it, and a lot of times that's what I post from for the story on our page is a reflection of something. So just different virtues, and I read through what's written, and then I reflect on, am I showing up that way in my life? Is this something that I need to learn more strongly? Is this something I'm already practicing? Is this something I have ever considered? And then I sit and think about that so I can look at all aspects of how I'm presenting to the world so I can be a better example all the way around for my family and for the people that are in our community and just the people you meet along the way, because what it does is it just teaches you how to be more internal, that you're only in control of yourself, your actions, your thoughts, your words, and all of that, and then reflecting on how it applies for the rest of life.
Okay.
Wow.
I like that. I think I got to inject more of that into my routine.
This one's very important.
Okay.
Okay. So, we're kids. Us too, right? What are some of the things that your kids love to do?
Oh man, they love dirt bikes. They love big RC cars that go 70 miles an hour. They love Minecraft, Fortnite.
Yes.
Oh.
Fortnite.
Yes, Minecraft and Fortnite. Woo!
And then there's more Xbox games that I don't remember the names of. I think there's Red
Mortal
Dead
Kombat.
Redemption.
Red Dead Redemption. Ooh.
Wow.
So they love those things. I've learned a little bit about all of them because I'm very interested in learning about what they're interested in so I can understand them.
So, have you played Fortnite?
Not yet.
It's fun. It's very fun.
Do your kids like board games?
They do, actually. They love card games and board games.
Okay.
Settlers of Catan is a favorite in the family because everybody's strategy and competitive and usually it ends in almost fist fights.
Do they like exploding kittens?
Yes, it's a great game.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you got a lot of similar
Similarities,
interests.
yeah.
In terms of gaming, their favorite games are Minecraft and Fortnite.
All right. So, can you tell us about the Relentless couple training program? What does it include and what is it?
Excellent question. So it includes custom nutrition programs, training programs, and then daily habit for mindset training. And there's two levels. There's one where people just want the program given to them, the habits given to them, and they check in once a week with us so we can give them changes in their food. And if they have any questions, and they have a group call where everybody who's a part of the community that's on the program comes and we talk about what problems, struggles, success, so that everybody can relate to other people and it's a community they can lean on. And it also shows everybody struggles with similar themes every week because we are all interconnected. So everybody struggles, and usually it's the same theme at the same time for multiple people. And there's contraction phases and expansion phases. So it's nice to be able to come and air your wins and your losses in a community that's based on developing yourself. Because it's not always a place you can do that with new friends or old friends when you're on a fitness journey. The other side is the elite program where people have access to us one-on-one. We give you mindset homework and personal development homework each week. You have access to us every day. You get the same custom workout, custom nutrition, and habits. Those are both for both programs. The other one is just more intensive because we look at, okay, where are your limiting beliefs in your life? What has created you to be where you are today? And how do we get you to where you want to be and create lifelong changes? And that's our aim, is creating lifelong changes for people in both groups and showing them where they're limiting themselves and how to believe more in themselves so that they can carry on this without us, so that you don't have to be coach for the rest of your life, but you can use the tools that we give you so that you can keep going and progressing and getting better as you get older.
All right.
Do the folks in the elite program typically get better results because they've got more of a one-on-one accountability? Do you notice a difference between?
It really depends on the individual. Like if you have somebody who's super ambitious in the basic program, you might actually see better results from them there because they have the blueprint and they have the desire and they have that check-in, and that keeps them going. We can dig deeper into things with people on the elite program because you have that one-on-one call with us on top of the group call. And we can sit there and I really pick through people's habits so that when we check in, I'm like, all right, so you're struggling with something because you missed these things. So that shows me you're struggling, but also like, here's a mindset thing. There is a mindset application that's going wrong here. And so we can dig more into that because I have an hour of your time for you to listen to what I have to say, but for me to ask you more questions to understand yourself and for me to better apply help towards what's going on. Whereas the other one, they don't necessarily give as much information because it's an investment in self thing. I've invested this much because I think I'm worth this much. Whereas when there's a little bit more finances behind it, it's showing you I am worth this much. Let's dig that much further.
Do people track this?
Yeah, we use MyFitnessPal for your nutrition, and then Trainer Eyes is what we use for the workout portion of things and the check-in photos and the weight and all of that stuff, so that it's got good accountability. Because then I can actually see it on both ends and go into them and be like, this is what you're eating. This is what you're doing with your weight. Like, have you challenged yourself? And I can actually check in on people that way.
I imagine people can fib a little bit, whether it's on the intensity of their workout or there might be a couple little snacks sitting around the house that they also just kind of threw in there but didn't maybe log them. How do you sort of like vet that out in the process?
You read it on their face. As strange as that might be, you read it on somebody's face because internally, like, you might not have written down that you had a bag of chips and your trainer is going to look at that and be like, oh, you were good on your macros. That's excellent. So you can lie to me that way, but you haven't lied to yourself because you know what your habits you signed up for are. And then when you don't keep your word to yourself, because you feel a certain way on the inside. So then when you show me your pictures, I can see in your face that there's a feeling of something. I approach it with curiosity because I'm like, okay, well, there's a mindset thing there.
Yeah.
It's a self-sabotage thing or something else. It's like, let's dig into that so we can help you correct that.
Okay. I love that.
We were just talking about your program.
Yes.
And in your program, I'm wondering, because there's a lot of victimhood nowadays, right? People like, no, oh, poor me, right? Right. So I'm wondering, how do you balance kindness and accountability with clients in the program?
That is an excellent question. So the way that we approach it is we stick to the facts and we don't have judgment. We want this to be the place that people come to so that they can say, okay, I had a mishap this week. And it's like, great, what was your mishap? Tell me about it, because that keeps them accountable. It's being kind to be aware that everybody has fallbacks, missteps, anything that happens. We are all human. We are all figuring this out. But it's also looking at it like, okay, was there anything else that was happening around the time that you skipped your workout, you slept in, you had a drink, you ate more food than you should, or you didn't eat enough food? There's always a mindset and a limitation that's happening. And it's figuring out what that is, whether that person doesn't believe that they should be getting the success that they're seeing, so they start eating more than they should, or they don't believe they're worthy of building a better life, or they don't respect themselves enough, so they don't show up for themselves. There's always an underlying thing that causes people to play the victim. Some people don't even realize that they can change things in their lives because the circumstances that they grew up in is what teaches you how to navigate life. And if they've never gotten around anything different, like more expansive views or different socioeconomic backgrounds, then you don't realize there is actually more. So we approach them with straight facts of, okay, well, we missed the macros this week, and you didn't see the weight loss that you wanted to see. Okay, tell me more. What happened? Where are we going from here? And so it realizes there's always something more to what you see, and that I treat them how I would want to be treated.
Okay.
Wow.
Sounds like a good balance.
That's deep. What are
Okay.
your thoughts on the body positivity movement?
Oh man, it's not my favorite thing. It really isn't. I think it is really killing people's potentials.
Yes.
It really is. Like, not only does it kill your potential for happiness, because again, it's all instant gratification, but you can look at any person who is overweight, and if they could snap their fingers and they would lose all the weight and have everything looking amazing and feeling great, not one of them would choose to stay the way that they are.
Yeah.
So everybody wants to be accepted for who they are, but it's like, this is not your potential. If
Right.
it actually felt good, you wouldn't have to keep doing the habits. Like, a healthy person doesn't want to sit there and eat tubs and tubs of ice cream or bags and bags of chips. When you have emotional health, when you have a respect for yourself, when you have ambition and purpose in your life, you don't do the things that cause you to be excessively overweight.
Mm-hmm.
And then that creates more issues later because you're challenging your life. You may not live as long. Your quality of life is being challenged as well. And just generally how you feel doesn't feel good. You're inflamed, you're tired, you can't breathe, you can't go to the bathroom, you maybe can't have a relationship, all of those things that go with it, because there's just so much extra on your body and on your mind. So I am very much not a fan of it being forced into people's faces that this should be a healthy way to go forward. We're not designed to be that way. We've just become that way.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do find it strange that people are fat and then people just walk in and they're like, "You look fantastic." When they typically don't really
Yeah.
look fantastic, and they
Yeah.
know that they
Well,
should eat
Not
healthy.
everybody is going to be your biggest fan. Everybody wants people to do well, but not better than them.
Yeah.
So
That is interesting, isn't it?
the person
Yeah.
that's telling them that they look great is probably somebody who struggles with weight and maybe is like an average obese size.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they feel better compared to the person that's a really obese size. And then it keeps them having somebody that they can compare. They're like, well, at least I'm not as bad as Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah. 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 I think it's a damaging normalization of certain behaviors and habits, but it's interesting because socially, if you say anything against it, it's like, wow, you're a bad person. You're not empathetic. I guess in our opinion, truth is empathy as well. You can still be honest with people and be kind.
And really, at the end of the day, it's you versus you.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you have people who are above you or below you, at the end of the day, it's you versus who you are today versus who you are tomorrow. And that's where you'll be able to make those changes.
Mm-hmm. You versus you. You got that, boys?
Yeah.
Okay. Charissa, now we have a segment in the show that is legendary for a lot of great reasons. It is called Rapid Fire. And the boys are going to ask you some questions that you probably have not anticipated.
Excellent.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Teleportation.
Coolest invention in your lifetime?
Ooh, the cell phone.
All right. Would you rather die to a great white shark or flaming hot volcano?
Flaming hot volcano.
Okay.
Quicker.
Excluding us, who is your idol?
Betty White.
Wow. Okay.
Would you rather die to would you rather fight a 1,000-pound duck or 1,001-pound ducks?
1,001 pound ducks.
Is Canadian bacon truly better?
Yes, it really is. Sorry, guys.
Really? Wow.
Disclaimer: Carissa's Canadian.
Have you ever been stuck in a bathroom stall without toilet?
Yes, yes, I have.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, happened to Max last week.
Yes.
Would you rather be pure vegetarian or pure carnivore for the rest of your life?
Carnivore.
No
All right,
apples.
well, that concludes
No
rapid
apples.
fire.
Oh, fantastic.
That was good.
crisp.
That was very
Very
good.
crisp. All right. Well, that wraps up the show.
So,
Excellent.
do you have any final words of advice?
That you can make changes at any point, and all it takes is just 1 degree different. You can be 1 degree different, 1 degree better every day, and just keep working on yourself. It will always pay you back.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It was awesome having you on the show. And before we completely wrap, where is the best place for people to find more about your services and resources?
We are the most active on Instagram. We are on all platforms of Facebook, Threads, Instagram, and TikTok. We do have a website too for more in-depth information, but Instagram is where we are every day. It's myself or Tyler answering the DMs that come in, and where you get to see all the things that we do in our crazy life of being the relentless couple.
Okay.
Love it. Love it.
Nice.
And we'll drop those into the description so anybody can go and check that out. And we encourage you to do that. With that, we will call it a wrap. Thanks so much. It was really awesome to bring your mindset and resilient practices to our audience. So thanks a lot, Carissa.
Thanks for having me today, guys. It's been a pleasure.
All right.
Goodbye. Thank you very much.
If you enjoyed this content, please hit that subscribe button, like, share. Until next time.